I've been using this redstone device I prototyped here to make all my fire resistance potions I use when going netherite mining. See, when I go netherite mining, I need a lot of fire res potions to be on the safe side, because I branch mine just like I do with diamonds. Okay, it's about time to scrap this device and see what's better. What's up guys, 867716 and welcome here to my second automated tutorial. Now in this tutorial, we're going to build an automatic bulk potion brewer like this. Well, maybe not exactly this design, because this is the prototype, and I feel like there are a couple ways we can improve this design. But how this design actually works is like, loads 3 potions into here, it'll brew them, then it will unload them here, then load the next 3, and then keep looping until this hopper here registers as empty. And what I kind of want to do is show you the principles on how to build a redstone device as complex as something like this. So, over here, I've got this simple setup. It's basically got all the stuff you need to be able to do the potion, and I'm going to show you a common redstone etiquette you usually will use when you build your stuff, and it's this. You see these levers? If you can place levers on blocks around the devices you want to power, and can actually power them properly, chances are you're going to be able to build this. Although, you might have to, like, take into account how big it can be, but the general idea is if you can operate it with levers on blocks, you'll be able to operate it with redstone. So what you gotta do is, like, imagine that you have a queue up of items. So I'm gonna get some nether wart, because that will be a good example item. I'll put some here. So imagine this stuff has queued up inside here. Now what you want to do is turn this on enough time for 3 to come out of here and into here. So this popper has to be disabled so that things don't get drained out here. Then turn this on until there are 3 there. And then, like, this will bubble. And this will, like, resemble like a pulse extender in your circuit, most likely. It depends on the way you build this. And then, as soon as this is done, then you can unload it. And then all the stuff from here will be in here, and then you can just restart again. Like, and that should be 3 there. And then once that loads, you let it out. So this is a common axiom we redstoneers use. Like, if you can operate it with levers on blocks, you can build it in Minecraft. But that has no real indicator on scale. Now, I've come up with 2 theories on how this design works. This theory could be like you brew up all the potions by groups on the ingredients. Say, like, you brew up a bunch of local potions, you swap the shulkers, and you brew into whatever you want, like fire res or healing or whatever. Then, like, you can add ingredients in that type of order. The other thing I thought is you do it all in one group. So, like the 3 potions get loaded, then it will brew in all the ingredients you want to make the potion desired, then unload them, then reload them, then brew them until they reach your desired potion. Now what I was thinking is, like, this will be done by using this thing, which will get done every time. This will be triggered every time the potions reload. So this lever should be on, so that hopper's locked. So what you do is unload this until you have 3 items here. Key a bit more. Okay, so I have all the items queued up in here to make a potion, a splash potion in fact, of invisibility that lasts as long as it possibly can, which I need 5 barrels for that. So now what I want to be able to do is, what I've already done is I've loaded these in, as you can see, and now if I do that, hopefully that will queue all the items needed. Oh, I see what I need it to do. What it needs to be is it needs to be 2 lines of hoppers, and these have to transfer it completely down into another line. And the second problem is I've done them in the wrong order. Okay, I think I've thought of a solution. Instead, the hoppers have to be buffered through this barrel to stop any weird suction or transferation things to happen. And so what happens is this line of hoppers is locked using this redstone signal. So these barrels will act as the buffer that transfers them from this hopper once they're unlocked into here. Then these will be sucked out through here, and then they will queue up in this hopper here, ready to be put in at the right order, I hope. So let's see if this happens right. If I unlock this temporarily, these should all be empty, these should be empty, and they should be queued up in the proper order. Yeah, I think that's right. But the only way to test that is to make sure this is unloaded. And that's on. Okay, is that all three? I need a little bit more. So this should brew in, and then hopefully after this, all the items should be queuing in the right order. Okay, it looks like everything's been done now, so what would have to be done is this lever will have to be flicked enough to transfer all three of the potions into here, and there you have it. So, after this, I think this is definitely possible, and this one has less steps, so I think it will trounce this design, which I was gonna originally use this one, but the biggest problem with this was it had to manually put all the items in, and then the items had to be queued through. Like, then once this lot brews a lot of awkward potions, or say, you'd have to like transfer them there before you could brew whatever lot you had. And depending on how many phases you had to go through, say 5 phases, you'd have to retransfer these 5 times. So I think this design over here might actually be better, so I can get rid of this, and once I'm through building this, it's going to render this obsolete. Okay, so now that we have the principle done, what we're going to need is a way that will load the exact amount of items we need from here into here. So I'm assuming we'll have to unload 4 from here into here, which will be enough time to load 3 into here. That should be the theory. So I'm going to figure out how long a pulse extender will need to be, or maybe it will need to be a monostable circuit. Sometimes you gotta like figure these things out. So what we need to do is figure out how to turn the machine on and off. So what I think is we have a lever that once you have all these queued, you turn this on, which will load these items, which will trigger some event down here, and then it will keep loading these. But once this hopper is empty, it will send a single string to a pulse extender, and then once that pulse extender turns off, which will correspond to when this has brewed the last potions, it will turn off this hopper long enough to take items into here, and then once that's done, it will trigger an event which will load the next couple 3 into here, and then the whole cycle must repeat. So I think this will be the basis of operation. So if that all sounded confusing, I'll break it up into little steps. So what I want to do, say I want to brew a bunch of fire res potions. So what I need to do is queue up the items in the order from right to left. So like the nether wart, the magma cream, and the redstone. So what has to happen is first this turns off then on. So then all the items should be queued properly. As you can see, the nether wart's already gone in. So now, this will have to be turned off enough for this to have 3 items, and then we'll brew all these up. But then once these items are brewed, I'll have to turn this on enough to suck the 3 items out, then we'll have to queue in the next 3 by turning this lever off then back on. So that's how this whole thing will work. You'll have to cycle that all through until, like, this whole shulker box is empty, or this is empty. So now once this is done, this will have to turn on long enough to empty out the hoppers, all from here into here. And then what we'll have to do is like test if, like we'll have to flick this lever, but then if this hopper is empty, it won't run the next slot, but if this hopper has stuff in it, it will run the next slot. So this is going to be a interesting process. Okay, I've got a test circuit done to test this. So as you've heard, I need 4 items transferred out of this, which will transfer 3 into here, and that should not be there. Where'd that come from? I don't know. I'll just get rid of that. So theoretically, hopefully this pulse extender will be long enough to do what I need it to do. So what it needs to do is drain 4 from here and transfer at least 3 into here. So if I flick this, how many items did it transfer? It transferred 3 into here, and there's currently 1 item in there. So I think I winged it and got the exact pulse extender I need. It's all thanks to you, flux capacitor. Hehe. Oh yeah, a little something. The reason I don't have a block, I think it's here it goes, is because I need this to unload twice as fast. Otherwise, like, I'd have to build a more complex looking pulse extender that takes more space. But this customized flux capacitor should do the job. So now I just need to test whether this works. So I have, no wait, what I need to do is put these in here, and what I want is all 3 of them to end up in here. So if I press this lever, which will run this dual edge monostable, which will run this pulse extender. Oh, I haven't set this to the right pulse length, that's what's wrong. So if I press that, was that enough to transfer all 3? Yep. And I just want to double check with this design that it does the right thing without transferring too many items. And yeah, I'm pretty sure this looks completely right. It hasn't queued up too many. So these both of these circuits should be done, and for now I can get rid of these. But that's the load and unload circuit done. Okay, I've transferred the blaze powder thing that does all the blaze powder into here. So now hopefully the blaze powder queue won't intercept. So I've lowered the whole hoppers a little bit to make this look even more compact, and hopefully that will make it look even better. One thing that confuses me is sometimes I've seen people be able to do things like this, and then like have a block in between the hopper before the comparator. So does that actually work? So if I place redstone here, if I'm placing item in here, that has a single string. If I'm placing item in here, that has a single string too. So yeah, it does go through one block. So I need to recall that for later, because I need to double check that, otherwise it may interfere with this hopper. So if I put a comparator here, will that detect if there is an item in this hopper? Okay, I think I figured it out. So it doesn't really matter how long this pulses. All I need it to do is flash enough for this to work. So, well, in theory, actually, no, that's not going to work. Is that going to work? So, this flashes, this piston will power, although, okay, so maybe I'll just alter this with a repeater to extend it to a slightly longer delay. So that will stop any one-tick pulse problems, which will push this down here and then it will be stuck. Okay, so now if this worked properly, when I release these through, this will detect a signal. Hopefully it will be on and not turn on and off, and then hopefully that will work. So if I click this, 4 items to go in here, and then it should brew some fire res potions. Ooh, that looks good. Oh, that seems to have worked. And this, I got the wrong shulker. Okay, I've replaced this back with water bottles and then redid everything, so let's just do this again. Hopefully this will work. Well, it should work, because it seemed to work, it's just I have the wrong potency. So this looks all good. So it looks like we're on to the next phase, which is how to, like, do the recycling, and to set the circuit that actually toggles this. Now, to figure out how long those hoppers over there need to be on to allow only one item through, I've come up with this little schematic here. So, if I've put 2 items in here, and I've got this chest thing rigged up, so when I flick this dual edge monostable circuit, it should do a pulse long enough to let items through. And I think I figured out that 3 ticks was a good amount, which that seems to have done the job. Because since these are hoppers, these are only going to let 1 item through, and then these will be in the barrel. Once in the barrel, these hoppers will deal with them properly. So I need a 3-tick monostable circuit on that to power it when it turns on. Okay, so hopefully if I've got my timing right, this monostable circuit should work, and I can test it by powering it here. So if I click here, it should turn that signal off for a little bit to the left, that one there. Okay, that looks good. So that should all be ready for wiring it up. So this needs to be powered by a couple of sources. When the machine first turns on, it has to power that, which will, like, start the whole thing going. Then later on, once it's drained out this slot, it will have to re-trigger this again. So this is all done in a cycle. So remember, like, brews up 3 from here, turns them from like water all the way to what tier potion you like. Then once they're done, they get depleted out, and then like we'll have to refire this to set the next group of items into here, and then the whole process needs to repeat. So what I need here is some sort of, probably a button would do, because I think I can make this all reset properly, but if not, I can use a lever later on. Then this button can be ran into another monostable circuit, like one right here it should do, and then like I can run the other circuit into the other side of this monostable circuit. Well, do I actually need 1 monostable circuit to do what 2 circuits can do? I think I do, because so if I click that, that will set that off, which will set the whole thing going. So I think I can do another smoke test. If I'm going to test this a bunch of times, I may just throwing a huge amount of each item into here. Although this time I'll be making strength potions, I believe. And then making them longer, so now I can do another test thing. So hopefully this should all do everything it needs to do right up to these potions being done. Just double check these are water bowl. So if I switch this button, this should hopefully load everything, and this should all brew up, and everything should be good. Which it seems to have been. Which means, so far, this is a success. There's probably ways to, like, there's probably ways to make this a lot smaller, to compact it. But I'll figure out compaction once the whole design is done, because compaction can be a bit tricky for beginning redstoners. But it's a good skill to have, and it's a skill I'm not too good at. Okay, what I'm going to need now is a folding edge pulse extender circuit. So what I'm going to probably do is use this entire part. This ether hopper pulse extender I built would wait for an item to brew before it would reset the circuit. So I just probably need to recycle this part and add it here, but it will need to be folding edge. So what it needs to do is come off here and then power a monostable circuit. No, I mean a NOT gate actually. And then that NOT gate will power the monostable circuit that will power the pulse extender. Although it's kind of strange to build the monostable circuit to make the pulse extender, but or would it work? I don't know. We'll see. I'll try it just the pulse extender, and if that doesn't work, we'll add a monostable later. And add about you need about 3 blocks extra to make room for it. 1 for the piston, 1 for the observer, and then 1 for the other observer. So then the pulse extender will go here. Now, my memory on pulse extenders was, how do they build again? Oh yeah, you gotta power the block, which the hoppers will go down here with enough room for the comparators. Okay, better get my inventory a little more sorted for this. Hopper here and here, and then put some comparators there and there. Power this and this with redstone, and then this needs to power this one needs to power the normal piston, I believe. And then this one, no, that's the sticky piston. Then this needs to be a normal piston. Then you need a block here, And then I'll just take a rough guess and do the same amount of items here. 27. Maybe I'll add or subtract as needed, but so I'll just put this here. I must have put in the wrong area. Oh well. And what I have to do now is rig this up to a monostable circuit, and this should all be good. Oops, I forgot I need a redstone block here, not a... I need a redstone block there, not a... There we go. What should happen now is I need to take the output from this side. I'll need one of these to do it. And then it will take the redstone signal, and that signal needs to power both this, and it needs to feed back in. This is a pretty long signal. I may add another repeater, and I'll probably need that repeater anyway to time it, and then that will get fed back into here. So then, theoretically speaking, this should work? Maybe not. We just have to see how it goes once this whole thing is... Yeah, this is unloaded. And now we can give this a shot. I have no idea what's going to happen. I need to brew 7 groups of 3. So that's... I need 7 items in here. Otherwise, I think this whole thing will just keep going, I think. Okay, I realize this needs to be a NOT gate. And then this needs to run into a very small monostable circuit, So I need a piston and an observer and one of these on about 3 ticks ought to do it. And that should connect properly. And okay, now we'll just see how this whole thing works, because chances are this won't work. Not often do you wing something first try and it works. It's probably not going to work. So let's just see how it breaks. This is so going to break. So I press this. This will unload that. It slowly these in. It's queued some in. This is being brewed up. And I'll just probably speed this part up. Okay, looks like the pulse extender has triggered, I think. Yep, because it's now the last group that needs to be done. So hopefully, the pulse extender might trigger too early. That's my biggest problem. Okay, that's done. And has this yet? Okay, that will need about 10 items removed. Has that completely been... Oh. Uh-oh. A water bottle has slipped through, which means the timing is off, which means we better turn the whole thing off. Let's see, how do I reset this? Oh dear! This might actually be an easy fix. Just set this to a longer tick register while everything resets, and that might do it. Another thing is this pulse extender took too long, so I'll 37? No wonder I thought it was taking 10 more. How did I put 37? I wanted 27. Okay, that should be better. I think it will work without that pulse extender there, because... Yeah, I think that... I mean, monostable circuit. I get mixed up a lot. So I think this will work without the monostable circuit there, so I think just this is needed to power the hopper thing. And now I think all we have to sort out are little timing issues. So now we'll see what happens when we set this going. The moment of truth. Something didn't work. Oh yeah, I forgot to set this to 3 ticks, that's all. So this should work. Okay. Let's see, this is loading up. That's good. And now it's going to be brewing. And once we get to the redstone, the pulse extender at the back should fire. Uh-oh. This is still running too quickly. So we gotta make a change. Yeah, I see what I kind of forgot. So how long does this thing need to be on for? Just needs to be on long enough for that to work. So maybe if I get rid of that, because what's happened is this circuit has bled into here, so this monostable circuit is on for a lot longer than it needs to be. And that's why the items were leaking from here to here when they shouldn't. So I've also added a bit of a delay here just in case, but I might be able to remove that should that be the case. And now we'll do another rundown to see if this works properly. Okay, double check it's gone in. Everything's working fine. And we'll probably speed this bit up. I'll check around the back now. So, okay, that's triggered. So in a little bit of time, this should fire. Hopefully this doesn't get turned on for too long this time. And that's halfway through. And any second this should go off. And if this stays on way too long, there's an issue. Oh, that looks pretty decent. But did it bleed? Ooh. 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 I think we may have cracked it. I think we may have cracked it. Only time will tell. But if so, I've done it. I made a second and more improved bulk potion brewer. And I got rid of the semi-automatic part. Now it's fully automatic. Because like I said earlier, this part was semi-automatic. You had to reset it every time you got to the next phase. Whereas since this one queues up all phases of the potion, it works. Okay, we should be able to witness this one. And this one witness as well. We'll be fine. Oh, there's a rabbit outside my bedroom window IRL. Our Jack Russell hates rabbits. Well, he loves to kill them. A bit too much of a delay. And double check. Yep. I think we've done it. I think we've done it. Although I think the pulse extender could do with 1 or 2 items shaved off, and then this should reach maximum efficiency. Looks like it's entirely successful. I got a few more little tinkers to do, and then this machine will be done. Okay, I've done a few alterations. I've added this circuit here, which should hopefully, if this side doesn't receive a signal by the time this loads, it will go ding, meaning that all the potions it can brew are brewed. And I've also, subtracted a few items from that, so that it's slightly more efficient, and I've gotten rid of a bit of the delay here. I might have to re-add that, but I'm gonna do a teeny bit more tinkering and see if this works. So, now I'm gonna see if I can brew about 6... I haven't put them in. Brew about 6 night vision potions, and we'll see how this goes. Oh. Did I just miss the ding? Or did it not ding at all? Oh, it needs to be connected to a NOT gate. Well, that should be easy to do. Just add that, add that, add that. That's what I did wrong. I'm gonna have to reload this a little bit just to make sure the ding works. Okay, now I've set it up to brew some weakness potions, splash potions. And this is just to double check the ding works. So hopefully the ding will not go off when this circuit goes. Hopefully the ding will go off at the end. So just wait for this to run through its course and then that should work. And if it goes ding now, there's a flaw. Oh. So I'll be timing this until I can get the ding perfect. Okay, it should ding any second now. Well, it shouldn't ding, actually. Okay, now it's too fast. Wait, did I forget to click that the whole time? That must have been what I did. Okay, the pulse extender's just gone off, and I think I have the circuit right. 3 ticks here, make sure this is in subtract mode, and make sure this is all good. And this is about to get to the end of the first potion. Hopefully it won't ding. That's a good sign. And then hopefully with the next potion, it will ding. Okay, the pulse extender has just gone off. So hopefully once this flow of potions is done, the thing should ding, and this entire redstone contraption will be completely and utterly finished. I think I've ironed out all the kinks, and it's all pretty good now. So it should happen now. There we go. All the potions are brewed that I've had set. So the whole thing actually relies on whether there are items in here. So this is the most important part. Make sure you have the exact amount of items in here as you want potions. So remember, you have to do them in groups of 3 for each amount of items you're doing here. So say you want 6 potions, you need 2 of each ingredient item queued up in here. It has to be from right to left. So like say you wanted to brew invisibility potion, it'd have to be your nether wart there to make it awkward, your golden carrot there to make it night vision, your fermented spider eye to make it invisibility, and then you can add like a redstone or gunpowder, whatever one of the 2 you want, and or both. And then that's how you queue it up. It has to be from right to left. So yeah. Also, I'll just give a small zoom in of the whole thing. Like there's a monostable, another monostable. Then there's the pulse, the monostable that does the pulse extender, another monostable, mostly monostables. A flux capacitor here, a flux capacitor here, NOT gates to control the hoppers, and then the ding circuit, which you have right here. Of course, the ding is optional, but I like all my redstone devices to go ding if I can. So this should be it. This should be the end of this tutorial. I hope you did enjoy it. If you did enjoy it, please leave a like, and if you'd like to support my channel, please subscribe to see more redstone content like this. And maybe in the next redstone tutorial video, I'm going to do a potion matrix, which allows you to select what type of potion you want, and it will queue up the items in that hopper thing just at the top. Stay tuned for that. Anyway, this has been 867716. I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye!